now that we know, because you guys can, you can make that determination where you stand at in a sense of I'm building a business or I'm just being self-employed. Here's two things you want to ask yourself. Do you want a career in this industry or do you want a business? Both of them are fine. It's perfectly fine with either one, right? But both of those identities are going to require two components to thrive: video or audio. That's a non-negotiable, right? It's a non-negotiable. So any of you guys thinking that I don't have to do video, you're fooling yourself, right? And if you're thinking, well, I can do this without, putting myself out there on the internet, you're fooling yourself as well. And I'll put it out there really clear to you guys. Some of you guys have referral-based businesses. That's a business of hope. Shit is not a thing, right? Yes, you're making money. And sometimes we take cash flow and we have a way of seeing that as like we justify what we do, right? I prefer for you guys to think much deeper. I want you guys to think about things like legacy. I want you guys to think about things in a sense of where, I'm spiritual. And I tell people all the time, I'm not religious at all, but I'm spiritual. And the reason why, because I understand. Now, you don't have to challenge, you don't have to agree with me on none of this stuff, but principles are principles. And the amazing thing about principles, it doesn't matter what gender, ethnicity, whatever you are, principles are loyal to nobody but those who apply them, right? And when I talk about me being spiritual, I read a scripture years ago that talked about a good man has enough wealth set aside for his children's children. So what that said was, just to be good, I have to be thinking about legacy. The minute you took on this space of moving to an entrepreneur, you've agreed to legacy. Now, if you feel as though that's not your thing, that's fine. But just to be considered good, not great, right? To be good, you have to be thinking about building something that can outlive us. And if you're building a business that die when you die, what is the point? So today, that's the paradigm I want you guys to take on. Let's think about this in a much deeper approach versus cash flow. Cash flow is part of the business ecosystem and the process. But the problem that our industry has perpetuated is a technician. And the problem with a technician is when you take on the identity of a technician, you lose the opportunity to properly scale your business if you're thinking about business, right? Because business is broken up into three factions. You have technician, you have management, you have systems. That's the game.